This is my Gypsy Hermitage Tarot. Welcome to my channel. When it comes to donating to my channel or booking me for a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. And I thank those of you who have ordered personal readings and who subscribe and who come on and leave comments. I thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I'm thinking of changing my channel name to something a little more easily understood. Hermitish is a word I made up just because I'm hermit-ish. You know, I'm not a complete hermit, but I am a bit of a hermit and definitely a gypsy. I've always loved gypsies. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, this is just here for my as a prop, just because it's my comfort zone. I like, touching this when I'm talking. So I'm coming on at this point to have a part two to the false twin versus true twin paradigm or experience. Um, let's see. What I think I'm going to start with is taking one card from the bottom of each of the decks to just illustrate. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. So I am getting the three witchy sisters. And so this has to do with not only knowing the difference between your false twin and your true twin, but also recognizing the experience of it. So there's three elements here when I get the three witchy sisters that I'm going to pull cards for. And already, yeah. Yeah. See, this is some bullshit. And it's bullshit because I'm going to tell you why. Wow. And it's so funny that these are at the very bottom, and then at the right at the actual bottom of the deck, what's left is also pertinent. So I'm going to take that too. So for the cards clarifying the power of three is heartbreak. These are the elements. Okay. Strangely lonely, holding on too tight. It's like Four of Pentacles, and it's a metal or steel four-leaf clover. The three fates, what comes around, man, I'm telling you. And sweet memories. This is what I want to say. Because I don't, even if it's your true twin, this is a twin flame reading, even if it's not, we have to stop falling victim to game. Stop falling victim to game. Even if this is your true twin, if he's treating you like this, where you're constantly heartbroken and disappointed, but you hold on tight because you think they're your person, so you're stuck as fuck, right? And they keep coming around because they want to use you for whatever they're using or getting from you, whether they're your true twin or not. And you remember the best, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even remember the fact that with every interaction and conversation or what, you're always left heartbroken or in ten of swords. You know that when it happens, but then you let it go when you start thinking about the good things. That's just like an abused woman or an abused person. We spend more time focused on what was good than recognizing the red flags of, yeah, why this is not your person. So I'm going to leave this little stack just in case I have to revisit it and pull it out and remind us. Let me pull this over a little. Because this is true. This is the journey. This is the journey. And let me finish picking all the cards, and then I'm going to talk to you about what this particular extension of the false twin reading is about, or talk is about. All right. Mm. Okay. Again, here's a multiple card message. This is the thing. So even when the wheel of fortune turns in a new positive direction and a certain person comes back, if they're a false twin, they're coming back with the same ego. If they're the real twin, the renewal you're having has to do with change. And the strength card is the number 11. They're using their strength. They know what they need to do to make this right, and they're doing it. But if you're just getting more of the same, like you're just a part of their harem, because that's all about their ego, you're a part of their team, they're putting you back in rotation. No, baby. No. No. Nope. False like a motherfucker. So that's a comparison of the false and the real. I'm doing the same. Ooh, I'm doing the same. Okay, but I got another one. Yeah. Look at this shit. Again, man. So I'm going to put, I have a bunch of cards that came out, but I'm going to put the cards that go together for the false and the real. Okay. See? Let me show you something. The false twin, whenever, and most of the false twins love to tell you about somebody that they love or who is just so sexy and hot and the sex is crazy. And because a lot of the times these people are insensitive anyway. And you take it for, no, we're just real cool like that, that we can be ourselves. No, you most likely cannot be your full self because he tries to play sensitive when it comes to his own feelings. He is his full self because he don't care about you like that. See, somebody, any man that can throw another woman up in your face and have full confidence that you're not going anywhere, that's karmic like a motherfucker. That is a false twin. That is not somebody that loves you. All right? I'm just saying. See, there's something about, even if the person that comes in and is your true twin, again, is the strength card. I don't care when he starts the journey with you and what condition he's in and what he needs to get together. He's going to use his strength to get it together. He is loyal. He is nurturing. He wants you sincerely. He's coming in as a new energy, whether he's from the past or not. He's coming in for real love. This is the connection is going to be there. It's not going to leave you in 10 of swords, 3 of swords. No, 5 of cups and shit. Totally different experience. And I know a lot of times different readers read differently when it comes to the journey. I mean, it's just the truth. This is from the feminine deck. Yeah, no wonder. It's like 2 different experiences, right? So some readers read that we should be trying to win our twin, and we can't just be, falling back and giving up and expect to win. Other readers are like, no, if he's had this behavior, cut him off, don't fuck with him again, that's not your person or whatever. There is like, I'm not in the middle, but I like a balance. I don't like either extreme of I'm overly available, right? Nor do I like where it's just like I'll never talk to you again, ever, never, ever. You know? Because at this point, even though I feel like the person that I started my twin flame journey, or I can have my awakening about this journey with, is a longtime friend, I don't even know that we can still be friends today. I don't know. I cut him off. I let that go, but I'll get into that later. But I'm just saying, from these 2 things, it could be, I just don't know. I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I haven't heard of anybody. I've heard of some things. I just don't know. I don't know yet. So we're going to keep looking. This Wheel of Fortune keep coming up though. This is another feminine deck that I'm using, the intuitive heart, the true heart intuitive deck. Still twin Wheel of Fame came out. Wheel of Fame. Wheel of Fortune came out for the masculine, was the bottom of the deck. This is the feminine Wheel of Fortune, bottom of the deck. So again, we're looking at, and look at this shit, and the strength card. Something's coming about, but what did I say about the 10 of Swords? Ooh, and the Two of Pentacles. Keep it, make it plain, God, make it plain. Just plain as the nose on your face. All right. I know why this is coming up, just to let you know. I know why it's coming up like this. I do. See? Ooh-wee. All right. Let me show you something. The masculine never disappoints, man. Never disappoints. Again, this is a comparison. So last time it was the feminine's cards that was a big, I mean, it wasn't the masculines, but it was a lot of cards for the feminine. This time it's a lot of cards for the masculine. But it's the same shit. So even if your masculine has not, or he's awakened, but he's not honoring the connection, and he's wounded, you know, he's a wounded warrior, whether he's karmic or true. So he keeps, right? Third party, fourth party situations, can't make a decision between, as if you are just like everybody else. He can't make a decision between you and a soulmate. The soulmate is not like the divine feminine. I'm sorry. And that's not, no shade, like no shade. The divine feminine is a specific type of energy. Period. Period. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance. Like, I'm really not. When I tell you, even though I'm fiery, when it comes to the substance of treatment of people, the substance of my spiritual journey, the substance of devotion and service throughout my life, I don't know anyone like me. Except for maybe 1, 2 people, like in honesty and truth. And that's no shade, no lie. I don't. It's a specific thing. It's a very specific thing and very high vibrational, like to the point that I've been taken for granted most of my life. That's how much I give. So this person actually believes that a soulmate, someone who is just, you know, doting and sweet and the type, whatever he says, she just loves him so much that she's going to stay with him regardless. He told me my friend told me that I'm going to get into my shit in a minute. But he told me that he already has a woman right now that told him that she doesn't care how much he cheats or what. She just wants to be in his life. She just loves him. I don't have that deal to make with nobody. Nope. Anyway, I don't deserve it. I'm too good for that. That's exactly what I told him. No, too good for that shit. What the fuck? If I'm not doing that shit to you, you don't get to do that shit to me. This is the real shit. You are there. Your real twin, would know you are their ideal. They would tell you the truth about that. They wouldn't keep throwing up somebody. You're going to throw, first of all, if a man knows the highest quality of woman he's ever met on all levels, right, is right in front of him, he knows what's going to send her away. Because a lot of the times when they tell you shit like how wonderful somebody is and how wonderful somebody else is, and you can see that they after young people too, because we're middle-aged. So I can see, I know all your shit because you tell me and I see it. So what does that tell me? The fuck am I doing over here in a dark dark ages kingdom that is not mine? Mine is a kingdom of light. If you've been talking to somebody who's in a kingdom of darkness, you better run. It should be the highest vibrational of love. That means they're not trying to bring you down. They're trying to bring you up. Newness, good energy, always moving forward. Always. Motion, forward motion, ready to do shit, ready to create things. No, man. It's not the same. Like it's not. It's not. Okay, let me get to my list before I start talking again. Oh, let me give you, these are the two oracle decks I kept back or I brought out um, after, other than these. All right. And I haven't even told you what I got from those. Yeah. See, let me tell you, baby. If, because love, there's a gentleness to it. There's a gentleness. And I have had moments, but I think it has to do with the effect I have on people. And I'm not conceited when I say that. I have a very mothering energy. I always have. So, it affects even the roughest of people. They become a little bit humble with me. I've always experienced that. But if my gentleness, if I can't trust your intention, this is trust and intention. If I can't trust your intention when I'm being vulnerable and you're refusing to change, look at this. Does this look like someone willing to change? No, that's a resistance to change. If ever I saw it, if that's the paradigm we in, you're not the one. And I don't, what? Why are we hesitant to say that? Why are we? Here's some more trust, man. Come on. Look at this. If everything about a person is in the extreme, including their sexual appetite, especially their sexual appetite, if they tell you things like, if we were together, if you want me to be monogamous, you're going to have to handle this. Your addiction to sex, you are not going to fuck me raw. And I don't mean raw like without a condom once we know, we committed or whatever. I mean to the point that I'm, torn up and shit. Fuck no. There are more options in the universe than an addict and shit. Come on. We are not our own individual rehab center. That is not what our energy is for one person. For one person. No, we're here to raise the vibration. We're here to give and serve up, as many people as we can, whoever comes into our realm. But I'm not here to be trust in the universe. Balance out your needs. Use discernment about what you're worth, what you want. Okay? Should not be, don't get caught up in someone's extreme addiction to the point that you don't know why you're horny every fucking all day, I mean, come on. And I'm gonna start. I have to tell you because I keep wanting to go into my recent thing, my recent phase. All right. Also, what we have from the feminine deck, the divine feminine deck, is Lalita, the red goddess. She says, playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. I got something to say about that. I'm telling you, I went through a new phase with my friend and it ended. I ended it because bask in joy and light. That's how it should be with whomever. Whomever. Whether it's I don't care who it is. All right, anyway. So this is, this is the comparison, clearly, from everything that I've seen out here. It's just a comparison. Your false twin is going to come back. Your real twin is going to come back or come in. Maybe you haven't met them because you've been stuck. Where I have the stuck card on your false twin, on this false person, right? You didn't learn the lesson yet. You had to relearn it and relearn it. Then you got it. However it happens. However it happens. Okay? But they always come back. Until you say, this is it. I'm not letting them back in again. I'm not answering calls. Or if you have compassion and your true friend twin says, okay, if they just no, I wouldn't do that to my a good relationship. I'm loyal. Mm-mm. Some people do that shit, you know, and the danger always happens. And they're, even if they say, no, I'm committed to you, I would never cheat on you or whatever. Let me tell you about the false twin. His energy of this is compelling. And it was a soul connection. It was just karmic because you had a teaching or learning to learn. You had lessons to learn. But trust and believe, if you in your twin flame connection and you haven't learned the lesson of leaving that motherfucker alone because he bringing destruction with him, you will experience that in that connection too. And it will bring destruction because you are going to fuck him. Stop playing with yourself. Stop playing with your life. Stop playing with this journey. Stop taking everybody's journey on the twin flame just because they read tarot as being how you have to do it, what you are experiencing. I do listen to other people, but I stay grounded in my own shit. My life, I don't live my life by committee anyways. I'm a rebel. So even, I don't, at the age, I think it was the age of 10, I told myself that I have the right to disagree with anybody on the planet. I don't care if you are famous, rich, a holy man, a holy woman, whatever you are. If God is inspiring me in a specific way for me, that's what I'm going to follow. That ain't got shit to do with you, and what you are on has nothing to do with me. That's not even what I'm here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you, no, your journey should look like this. I'm here so you can be more powerful, making decisions that serve you and bring you what you want. That's it. I stick to the basis of the journey that I've studied, not my own journey. My own journey is only a bearing of witness to what I've gone through so far. That's it. And if you have experienced something similar to me, you can take that, but that still is not your journey exactly. It may not be. Anyway. So let me tell you. Okay, so I just had to say that because look here. So I walked away from my friend in sometime in 2019 for sure, but definitely by my birthday in March of 2020, where he called me for the first time on my birthday, didn't call me any previous years, and to say happy birthday allegedly. Now we were just about to go into um quarantine, and everybody was making mad dashes for toilet paper and all this, right? So we actually went into quarantine like 2 days after my birthday. And he called to say happy birthday. And we were talking about our diet because, I came into a certain type of diet, but we've both always had the same diet of eating one meal a day. And so, and fasting periodically. So we've both, we just have that a lot of those things in common. So he started asking me questions about, what I'm eating or whatever. And I was like, actually, I've been eating a lot of raw vegetables. And so his words were, I bet you're looking beautiful. And I was like, what? Because again, we hadn't talked for maybe a few months. And he was like, oh no, I was talking to somebody else. I knew that was because I had cut him off and stopped talking to him. I knew that was his way of getting back because he's a Libra. And when you hurt a Libra, they're going to try and get back to you, not in a main way, just in some little petty, passive, aggressive, hurt your feelings kind of way. Okay. Definitely Ten of Swords type of way could come up, and so I was like, bet, thanks for calling me. Click them. You know what I mean? We ain't got shit else to say. Didn't talk to him again for 2 years. I mean, other than I would send him like maybe once every 6 months, I would remind him about what type of hospitals to go to. That was it. I wasn't having no conversations with him. So he broke down. I don't know. He ain't break down. He wanted to add me to the rotation again because we still haven't had sex. See, you don't know. You really don't know how deep seated this player culture is and sex addiction is. Like if they have not conquested you and they had you in their sights, it's an extreme need. Like they are not going, I don't care. You might be like, no, it's this energy between us. He can't stay away. Trust and believe. Even if he makes you his lover on a regular rotation, right? Once he's done with you, he's going to be done with you. If that's all he wants you for, it will never progress. It will never progress. All right? I'm going to tell you why I know. I'm going to show you how I know. So he calls me up in the fall of last year. We, in the middle of the night, he was at work. We talked for 3.5 hours. I was on my Queen of Swords. I haven't gotten off that bitch since. Because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he doing. But because I'm a Pisces, I like to know for sure. What is this? What's really going on, right? So fine. Talk to him on the phone. I wasn't as loving as he's used to, you know. So he was saying how he missed me and things like that. All right. But he also put some salt in there too of that, you know, he could see us in a relationship. Excuse me. But he does, I'm doing a dry fast, so I can't drink anything. But he does want us to, he does want to sexualize. There are some women that he does want to, you know, experience, and he might want to have another child. This is the man that has several children with several women. That's a red flag. That's not stable. That's not someone that can be stable in love. And you know, he may have an awakening. Again, being false twins, I'm his false twin. He's my false twin. He could be a twin flame. He could be a divine masculine. He could. Like he really could. But he's not awakening with me. He he already told me. I'm gonna get to it. But so anyway, I had been quiet the whole conversation. Usually back in the day when we were talking, it would be an exchange. So much mutually exchanging that we would have to both raise our voice to each other to take a turn. This time, I didn't have a lot to say. I'm totally in observation mode. I didn't even feel the love flowing that he had illustrated before the break or before this 2 year span took place where we were apart. I didn't even feel that flow of love that he talked about. I didn't even feel it. I haven't felt it since. I felt butterflies in my stomach once during this new renewal, but that was it. And then he took care of that. Because after every conversation with him, there was a Ten of Swords because I didn't open my heart up enough to be true Ten of Swords, but it was definitely Ten of Swords-ish energy because of the way he was doing it. And he even went back to game. He tried to spit when we first tried to talk. It like as if we just were starting to talk. It was just the round and round. Where is it? I didn't even open up that deck. But it's right here, so I'm going to show it to you. Because I pulled some cards for myself the other day. Just to get a reminder of what this was ever going to be. And I got the round and round card. I was like, bet. Thank you. Whenever I get weak, that's it. You know what I mean? Whenever I get weak, I pull some cards or even just one card and ask God to show me what this is. Like the real. Show me just the absolute. It was right here on top. The absolute truth of this connection. It's not going to change. This is not my destined partner. And that's all I want to do is totally embrace the truth of that. That's all I want to do. And so other than this, what did I do? I went to his Facebook page. He posted something, I think might have been yesterday. Who knows shit. And I said, oh, okay, what is this he's watching from TikTok, right? Went to, it's a channel, we're middle aged. It's a channel of a really young woman. And I was like, bet he on that new trend. It's a new trend where middle-aged men to even older men are with really young women, choosing them in relationships, and it has older women grieving. I ain't grieving over no damn body. Do you hear me? I ain't grieving over shit. I refuse to, because I know how to make me happy. And even if I chalk it up to the time and the condition of human beings, and if I want to have a lover, I'll choose a lover. But I'll be damned if I'm strung out for anybody who don't want to love me. All right. So that's one thing. So after that one conversation, he called in the middle of the night. The next night he did the same thing, same length of conversation. I wasn't about to do that again. So he called the next day, but earlier. But it was a test to see if I was going to let him treat me however the fuck he want to. And so he said, I didn't want to call you late anymore. I don't want, I'm sure you don't, that's not something that you want to do. And then he stopped and didn't say shit. And I was like, no, I don't let people call me in the middle of the night. And he was like, cool. So ever since that time, so that was the last long conversation, not long, the last long conversation, but it was the last conversation in a row, right? It was those 3 in a row, bam. Then it was 2 weeks. And then ever since then, it's been like every 2 weeks, something like that. Or every 2 weeks, something like that. So we would talk. And then at a certain point, I think when he called me 2 weeks later after the 3 days in a row, I already know, I know his pattern. You know what I mean? I knew what it was. I'm like, okay, he's trying to put me back on the team. No, I'm in my Queen of Swords. So I'm like, what is this about? I think I had sent him an email or something, and he responded to the email, and I said, what is this about? He said, what do you mean, what is this about? I'm like, what are we doing? He said, we're friends. Until I change that, until we decide to change that, until we decide to change that, that's what it is. I said, bet. I don't need to have a phone. I'm like, I don't need to have a conversation with you for a while. I'm going to get myself together. I don't want to hear, you can keep all the I love you, I miss you shits. I don't need to hear none of that shit. I was like, pop, 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 because you're not going to play with my emotions. You're not. So, and then I was like, bye. And he was like, okay, but I know him. So I knew he was going to be hurt by that, definitely offended, if nothing else. So I sent him an email like a few days later and was like, I need to give you the balance, and I sent him a new poem I wrote called Love Is, illustrating to him how I see love. But in this new one, I said, I see myself taking care of you. I just want to give you peace. I want to give you ease in your life and all this. But you up close, you up close to my heart, I don't feel comfortable. So after that, he felt more comfortable. He reached out. We had a conversation. Now, and it kept on until recently, right? Now, this is what happened recently. And one of the things I noticed from all our conversations is that before, when we were talking, we would talk when he was at his home. And and we would video chat. Now he would only video chat or call me when he was on the way to Mississippi to check on his dad, to take care of things on the land or whatever, or on his way back to our home city. Never at home, never in our hometown. And I was like, yeah. So I'm just peeping it. I'm just peeping it. Also, he's going through this, I got 2 women that I see or whatever. One of them says she'll be with me. I don't know what's wrong with that, having multiple people, because I'm like, I'm not doing. And I would just listen. And then he would get quiet and I would say, I'm not doing that. And he'd be like, you know what I mean? So then one of the last conversations we had, I was telling him how I was talking to a really close friend of mine, and she was like, "Why are you still talking to him if you don't think it's going anywhere?" I was like, "Because I'm in love with him." And when I told him that, I was like, "But I don't think you love me like I love you." And he was like, "Well, sometimes it happens that way." I'm like, "No, motherfucker, shit. What are you talking about, babies? I want y'all to know that's not this. Okay, I brought that up for a reason, not just to tell all my business. That's not this. That's not twin flame. It's not. One of the major lessons of the twin flame journey is reciprocal love, is equal give and take. His whole paradigm, when you tell him about equal give and take, is you'll never find that. You'll never find somebody that gives as much as you give. There's always going to be one person that gives more. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, that's what you're going to experience. But I'm either going to have what it is that I say I'm interested in having or nothing when it comes to love. I love my damn self. He didn't believe it because he sees me as just like a housewife. And he told me that it's like, you look like a comfy housewife. But he was saying it in appreciation, you know. So when he said that, he kept talking. And like I said, I haven't been talking a lot. I've been listening because I wanted him to expose himself. He said, I went through that myself. I loved someone and he had never told me this before. So you know what that told me? That it was recent within the 2 years when we hadn't been talking. Pay attention. Come on, sisters, pay attention. Okay? Ooh. Uh-oh. All right. So he goes on blabbing his mouth to say he had loved someone more than they loved him, and he didn't mind. And that also told me he still loves that person. Now, whether he's involved with her or not, but that's who he's getting over. That may even be his true feminine. Do you hear me? Because the wisest of people say that relationships work out the best when the man loves the woman more. We already know what it looks like when the woman loves the man more. But when the man loves the woman more and she's a good woman, it's going to work out because she's going to give to him. But guess what? Because he loves her dirty socks, he's going to give to her. Like he's going to be so sincere and genuine. This motherfucker ain't gave shit to me hardly. He did buy me 2 books for my birthday for the first time. He asked because he knows I've never taken money from a dude and I don't give money to men. Ever, ever, never, ever. Won't. Unless we're married, and it's that kind of love that I'm talking about. So I read between the lines. I say, okay, I see his whole life right now of what he's on today. So once we got off the phone, I was so disappointed. Not disappointed because I kind of knew, but I was like, you know what, this is it's over. I mean, this is just the end of it. Steve Harvey shared, and I always share so much of his stuff on here because he's right. And he was a player his whole life. But he met his match and did not want to lose her. That's Marjorie. So he said his father told him, no. Somebody told him, I think it was a woman, don't you ever let, she was advising a younger woman, don't you ever let a man tell you he does not want you more than once. And that's what he illustrated in that conversation. Was, first of all, that he acknowledged I loved him more than he loved me. And secondly, that he loved someone more than they loved him. And he was not over that shit. Thirdly, that he was in a relationship, not with the one that he loved the most, but with someone that he's comfortable with who probably funds his life in our hometown which is why he does not call me from our hometown ever anywhere in our hometown. No. And he only wanted me to come down to Mississippi so we could see each other, go out, and definitely smash. It was all about, let's make plans, let's hook up, let's, come down here, come. No, I'll even pay for it. And I'm just like, why is he so hell bent on me coming to Mississippi? Because he's in a relationship in our hometown. But it's not with the one he loves. He wouldn't fuck that up. He's just trying to build a team down in Mississippi. He got people even in our hometown that he fucks to. But see, I probably know this person. I broke it all down in the final letter. I wrote him a Dear John letter. I did. But I broke that shit, all of it, all the way down. I said, this is what is funny about you. And men are easy, women. Men are easy. Stop looking at them like they're so complicated. They are not. They are telling you everything about themselves. You can find out who they are in no limit of time because of social media and listening. So now you done told me who you love more than they love you. I went to his page. He had done a recent video where a young woman who's younger in her 20s, came on, said hi. His attention was piqued like a cocker spaniel in a hunt who found the kill, or a pointer, right? He was immediately zoomed in to her. He's never like that. He's always downplaying anybody. I don't care if they saying I love you, I miss you, or whatever. He don't give women real attention in his never. He don't let nobody come in and get his attention like that because he doesn't pay any attention to anyone. That was the first time he gave attention to someone like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I put two and two together. I have a master's, so I know how to research. But even if you don't have a master's, damn, social media is the best. It's all, you would never need no other evidence ever. What did I do? I went to her page. She had a business page and a personal page. I went to the personal page because he mentioned that she had recently had a baby. That since whatever he said, it's been a long time no see. I noticed, I've been watching you. I see all your news. Congratulations on the beautiful baby. When I tell you, I went and took a look at that baby, looked just like her and him. I'm like, bet. Then I had already put together that he's in a live-in situation in our hometown. Bet. I laid all that out in the Dear John letter. All that shit. I said, and the one you love, you got a child with, but you not with her, but you with another person that I know, which is why you don't want me to be in our hometown. You're not paying for me to come there to smash because we know too many people in common. I said, so the one that you live with is community worthy, meaning she's highly regarded among the people that we know. And then I named her ass. I said, and even if I'm wrong on all this, who gives a shit? I'm done. I don't have no parting advice. I've given you enough from my beautiful heart. Peace. Do you hear me? And I read that letter whenever I get weak because it reminds me of the truth of what he is on and the truth of what I am worth. They always come back. But the twin comes too, so then what you gonna do? And so, man, listen to me. So after I let that go, I've noticed, because I'm a writer, and I noticed on my writer's Facebook page that these different people, some of the same ones that I've always, had fun and flirted with or whatever, are still cool with me. But there's an older Libra who is used to be, well, he's actually always been a freelance photographer, very talented. And we don't live in the same area at all, but one day I had posted some poetry, and some of my poetry, I have a poetry dedicated to the D, It's called the Wood and Me. I'm gonna read some of my poetry here sometime, but he went to my inbox and said, "Where you at? Like, where are you? Where do you live?" But he's a Libra too. So I know I pique his sexual interest. I know. But one time he did inbox me and say, "You're my soulmate." But he's a Libra. I've already learned lessons, right? I know how they flow. So I was like, I think some of my poetry is your soulmate. And he laughed. But every so often he reaches out, or he sends me a funny video or whatever, and I make him laugh. Like I make him laugh so easy. Playfulness. Can I tell you the difference? And I'm not saying he's the one. I'm saying it's just general. There's other men in higher vibrations that like my company, you know, that are giving me a lot of attention. And some of them are actually on a path looking for love. They are like their consciousness, the way that they encourage people, they serve others, they're mindful of what they're looking for. They're looking for reciprocity. They're talking about that stuff, but they're also living it. So even when women in their comments comment about stuff, they're like, "Oh, no offense, but this is what I'm on." I'm like, "Yes, divine masculine." So my divine masculine is coming, is my point. Playfulness is a spiritual energy because it lifts your energy, it lifts your spirit. So I have a good sense of humor, right? I talk a lot of shit, especially with men, because, it's nice. Anyway, so um, my friend that I just cut off and am done with, I used to like be cracking up saying funny shit. Sometimes he would laugh, but most of the time he'll be holding it back, trying not to be affected by me. Why? Because he didn't love me like that. So he's not trying to open up his energy. Because when you laugh together and have fun together, you're blending your energies. He was mindful of that shows me that he knows I wasn't his person. You hear me? But here's these other dudes. I'm making them laugh. You know what I mean? They're making me laugh. We're exchanging ideas and shit. Yeah, something's coming. That's the difference. That's the difference. But we have to be strong enough to do the work. Stop being so sure, not stop being sure that you know who your twin is, because some women may. I just don't know. I don't. Because unless it looks that way experientially to me, fuck, you ain't nothing but a fuckboy then. And that's how I'm gonna treat you. Now, if you come back and you truly are in that energy that I see these other men in, like genuinely, because I refuse to tell him what to do. I have encouraged him with information before. And I told him, and I ain't feeding nothing else to you. I don't know what you on, but I know what you're not for me. I said it didn't happen for us because we're not meant for it to happen for us. We're not meant for each other. Would that you could have said that. I'm blunt, but I'm done. So, and I'm not sad about it either. Cause that's why I'm saying when he first reached out for this second phase, I just listened for all these months. So that was probably in the end of early November, which is deep. Cause we first started talking at the end of November 2018. And then look at how God brought him back in so that I could get him out the way. So that it could be totally ended because it wasn't what I should have been on. Almost exactly to the day, definitely to the month. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. Was it four? Let me see. No, because that was 2021. It was the fall of 2021. So 3 years ago. Um, yeah, that's some shit. And three is the number of trial in some spiritual circles. You know, because the trial or the lesson was let go of this false twin. Get ready to let go of this motherfucker. I'm putting you in Queen of Swords for a reason. And all my readings lately is the feminine is Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords keep coming up. It's for a reason. Feminines, hold on. But if you know you're being pushed to end it, end that shit and mean it though. I'm telling you, if even a fantasy tries to come up, I'm either pulling cards or doing both, pulling cards and checking on him. I didn't block him from nothing this time. Because, yeah, last time he was spying on me, making fake accounts and all that shit. False twins that do that, they are addicted to sex. Women, available non-homosexual women outnumber heterosexual men at an all-time high. We probably never even seen it. They are servicing so many women sexually. I'm not talking about awakened masculines who are on their journey. Although, don't get me to speculating, because I don't know. Some of y'all. But it was for the same purpose that I had to have an awakening when we first started talking, was for the purpose of my awakening. This time we started talking was for the purpose of me ending it, because the purpose had been done. All right? Let me know in the comments how this resonates, if you can relate, if this helps you at all. I pray it does. Stay focused. Don't give up. All right? Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Peace.